we are going to talk about one of the most crucial aspects of fish farming. In fact, after having your good water, what is next to make your fish grow better is what we are going to discuss in this lesson. So this entire model is so important that you need to pay much attention to it, because getting this wrong will affect your farm, and getting it right will also affect your farm in a positive manner, and that has to do with fish feed. Feed is so crucial, and it is said to have covered 60 to 70% of the total cost in fish farming. This is very true. If you are establishing a fish farm and you prepare your budget, then you will understand why they said it takes 70% of your cost. In fact, calculating the feed that the fish will take to maturity is going to make you a lot of money, and that is why it is said to have covered that. And believe me, you will not want to use that huge sum of money to buy and later waste it. And to have the better and the most precious use of that, stick watching this. Now let's look at the types of fish feed. First of all, we have the pelleted feed. The pelleted feed is where after making the feed, they put it into pellets, into sizes from 0.2 mm to 8 or 12 mm. Some cases it's really 12 mm. So they pellet it into sizes, and each size is given to fish that are at that time. For instance, if you have smaller fish and you give them big pelleted feed, they cannot consume it. So it is made of sizes, and the sizes also comes with different nutritional proportions, because the fish at any stage they have the required nutritional proportion. For instance, fry and fingerlings, those smaller fish, they still need more protein for growth and repair. And for that matter, most pelleted feed, the commercial ones, and take note, if you are going to make your own feed, take note on that. Most of them, it contains protein, about 35 to 45% of the total other nutrient. So important. And this is for fry and fingerlings. It gives them strong repair and they grow. Now, so with that, giving them that smaller, you are not only giving them the size for them to pick, but you are also giving them the size that is giving them more nutrient that they need to grow well. Giving them wrong, you will not. Sometimes people take the bigger size, blend it or grind it into smaller pieces and give it to the fish. That is not the best way, because even if they are able to swallow it because you have broken it down, what about the nutritional proportion? So now the pelleted feed also comes in several forms. There are three major ones. We have the floating pelleted feed. The floating one, as the name suggests, when you throw it into the fish pond, it is on the surface. So the fish will come up there and pick it up. Tilapia and catfish both use it. So it is the most recommended one because you are able to monitor how the fish are consuming the feed. If they are not eating, you can tell. If they are eating, you can tell. And if there's a leftover, you can easily pick it up from the pond. Now the second one is the sinking feed. With the sinking feed, when the feed is thrown into the pond, it goes in the bottom, so you can't see it. So it is good for inside or bottom feeders. Catfish is one of them, but catfish, they feed in the bottom and at the same time they feed on top. So that way it sinks. So when they are eating or not, you can't tell. That's the disadvantage. But it is less expensive. For instance, when you compare to the cost of floating, it's less expensive. And the third one is slow sinking feed. That way it also sinks, but it doesn't sink faster. It will be going down gradually to the bottom. So these are the three major types of pelleted feed. And I said the most recommended one, and which is even the common one for almost all the commercial feed producers are producing, is the floating one. Now let's look at another type of feed. We have the live and insect feed. The live and insect feed are made out of feed from other living organisms. You can produce them and feed your fish. For instance, shrimp. People use shrimp to feed fry and fingerlings or fish in general, and they are good for them. Maggots. You can use maggots to feed them. Black soldier fly. People use it to form maggots and feed their fish, fries and their fish. Worms, earthworms, all of this, and even fish, meat, and all that, you can feed them. But what I will not recommend is to depend solely on this. You can have those ones as supplementary feed. Because if you keep giving them such, especially meat and those stuff, you're also teaching your fish, especially catfish, to be more cannibalistic. Because you're training them to feed on flesh. And when they are used to that, they can feed themselves as well, which they are always been doing. Now, apart from the live and insect feed, we also have plant-based feed. You can grow plants, aquatic plants, and feed your fish as supplementary feed. Common one is azolla. We also have duckweed and many others. So you can use this and feed your fish, and they'll be healthy and they'll be growing, and that will cut down the cost of commercial feed. You can also have self-made feed, where you get ingredients such as soya beans, corn flour, fish meal, all this, put them together and make your own feed. We can discuss all that in this course. We'll probably make another course on that, but just introducing you to that to know. Now, you can depend solely on a commercial feed, or you can blend some of these ones to supplement and to cut down your costs. The most easier one is to grow azolla or duckweed. Just get another pond or just make something on the ground that can hold water. Introduce them in that, grow, use it to feed your fish. So you will have your commercial feed, but that one serves as supplementary. So it will reduce or bring down the cost of the feed. Now let's look at the nutritional proportion of the feed. The feed is made out of several nutritional components. The most important one is protein. And like I mentioned, if they are still fry and fingerlings, they are smaller, you need more protein for growth. And for that matter, fry and fingerlings, they are required to have about 35 to 45% of the total feed nutrients. And when they grow, it reduces. But despite that, protein will also be the highest. Now also have carbohydrate. We can also take about 28 to 35, 28 to 35% of the total feed nutrient for your fish. And then the rest, we can distribute it amount. You have fat, you have fiber that is in digestion, and a lot of protein. Now, how do you determine the feed contains that? If I buy the commercial feed, every quality commercial feed should have all these labeled. The amount of protein, the amount of fat, the amount of carbohydrate, fiber, and all that. You look at it and then you purchase. When you're also buying, make sure you check the expiring date to make sure that the feed is still in a good range. If it's less than 2 months or 1 month to expire, please don't buy it. You can poison your fish. The quality of the feed should correspond with what it's said to be. For instance, if they say it is floating feed, when you throw it on the pond, it should be floating. When they say it is sinking, it should be sinking. If it does otherwise, then out of the quality of the feed. All this, if you follow that, you ensure you get the right quality. Now, categories of feed. We have three major categories. We have the starter feed, which ranges from 0.2 mm to 1 mm. And this is good for fry. That's when you hatch them smaller, and fingerless. That's the first category. Then we have the second category, which is the grower feet, which is from 2.0 to 4 mm. And it is also made for juveniles and sub-adult fish. They have not grown to adult, but sub-adult. So consider that. Then we have the finisher feed, which is for adult feed or table size feed, for adult fish and table size fish. And it is ranging from 5 to 8 or 12 mm, because most of the times it ends at 8, but some places they have up to 12 mm pelleted. So it all depends. So these are the three. And the age or the size of the fish should determine the one you are going for.